All right, y'all, let's just talk about the Battle of Winterfell and how many avoidable things happen, how many dumb mistakes happen, all because of Dan and Dave. All because of the writers. Like, get out my face, get out my face. Hey y'all, so hopefully my voice doesn't sound too weird because I feel like my sinuses are doing something weird right now. Either way, I still wanted to come and run my mouth. And this time, I don't know what possessed me, but I ended up rewatching the final battle at Winterfell. And you know what possessed me? It's because my friend, my fucking bestie Gio, and I were having a discussion about the battle. Like, we always have discussions about Game of Thrones. And I ended up going back and like, you know what? We talking about this final battle. Let me just go watch it in its entirety. And I immediately came up with 15 things that 15 mistakes, 15 idiotic decisions, 15 dumbass scenarios that happened because the writers did not make no goddamn sense. They just didn't. They just didn't. Now, cinematography, I mean, everything was beautiful except like y'all need to brighten up this battle. Everything was beautiful. I mean, stunts, actors, everything was great, but like the way this battle went, how it was written was just absolutely stupid. Let's start with the first one. Why are the trebuchets out here? Why are the trebuchets in front of the goddamn army? They need to be, I mean, maybe as close to the wall as possible, as close to the wall of Winterfell, the fucking battle. You know what I'm talking about. As close to the wall of the castle as possible, or maybe even behind that hole. I don't know, but the fact that they were out in front of the fucking armies, it's like we already off to a bad start. Right? So now let's move on to the second one. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun to see Melisandre light up the Dothraki weapons. Like, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But I mean, and they start screaming, they wave they shit around. I did get my life. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was fun. It was great. But then sending the Dothraki who respawned, no shade, who just magically respawned, right? But sending the Dothraki straight into the unknown was a dumbass idea. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I get that the writers probably wanted this for an effect, like, oh yeah, let's see just how crazy the White Walkers and, you know, the Army of the Dead is right before, you know, we actually get to start fighting. Like, let's just have them wipe out the Dothraki, right? And then that will really get into the viewers' heads how dangerous the Army of the Dead is. Girl, we already know. Don't just say, I'm not sending like 1/10 of my fucking army of the entire allied armies out just to do a temperature check. We already know, girl. We know that they're crazy and they will kill your ass. Okay, it's the Army of the Dead. What are you talking about? This brings me to my third point. You needed multiple fire moats / trenches, whatever you called that shit that Melisandre lit. You needed multiple of those. Why did y'all only have one flimsy ass fire thing against the entire army? Y'all needed to have rings of fire around Winterfell. Fuck are you talking about? And I think it would have served multiple purposes. First, you could see what you're dealing with if the whole battlefield was lit up. Yes, it might have been dangerous. Of course, it's dangerous to be fighting the Army of the Dead. But like, if you're gonna have one fire moat or fire trench, you could have definitely dug a couple more, right? But like I said, you would be able to, it would light the area up. It would trap some of the White Walkers to prevent them from fucking moving on, and you can see what the fuck happening instead of sending your Dothraki into the fucking unknown. I'm sorry. So after Dany saw, right, that her Dothraki just got wiped off the fucking map, right? It's like, I think she was right to get on her dragon, but given the fact that the Night King was coming and the Night King had just sniped the hell out of Viserion, you know, I would have just sent one dragon out. And if we're gonna send at that time, I would just send one dragon out. And if you're gonna be out there just a sitting duck like that, you need to be doing the fastest air strafes, the fastest airstrikes that we ever done seen in my life. You should have came down from the clouds in a matter of milliseconds, say Dracarys, and take your ass right back up to the clouds. You don't need to just be sitting ducks. And then you need to, I'm sorry. Like, you shouldn't have both dragons come out at the same time when you already know the Night King coming on his dragon. What are you talking about? You need Rhaegar to sit his ass down. Okay, the fifth one. Jon saw these White Walkers standing in a row, right? And decided to fly straight toward them. And to me, the fact that they aren't moving first of all, I would have never flown toward the fucking White Walkers who, like I said, they are still holding the same fucking javelin, the same kind of weapon that took out Viserion. I'm not fucking flying toward how many of them that are standing right there. I'm not doing that shit. But if I did choose to do that shit, I'm flying toward them and they're not fucking moving, I would be like, okay, you know, obviously they don't give a fuck about the fact that, you see what I'm saying? The fact that I'm on this dragon, they don't care. They're about to wipe me out. You know, I'm not doing that shit. Like, the dragons overall were used in a way that, like, you would really think that these characters did not see the Night King take Viserion out the sky. Like, y'all ain't using these dragons like they are as vulnerable as they actually are. You see what I'm saying? I was just like, oh my gosh. So now this part really fucking pissed me off, because they over here trying to light the trench. They trying to light the moat or whatever. And Sir Davos waving out around these fucking torches like he think he about to land a plane or some shit. Daenerys can't see their ass, you know. And that's what they're trying to use arrows to light the fucking shit. So Melisandre go down there and light that shit. Now that was amazing. I did love to see that shit. Like I said, I love to see it. I love powers. I love magic. I love all that shit. But Jon Snow was sitting his dumb ass right there. Jon Snow was sitting right on the Winterfell wall with fucking Rhaegar ass, and didn't even want to whisper Dracarys so we could light this fucking moat. Get out my face! You gotta get out my face. They over here struggling to light this moat. Like, oh my God, the breeze, the cold is blowing out the flames. We can't get this shit together. Dany can't see us. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? This brings me to number 7. If y'all were gonna have Melisandre here, we should have gotten a fiery hand from Volantis. What are y'all doing? We should have got the fire. What is the whole point? Send her. I don't know what y'all have to do. If y'all gotta send her somewhere, send a message to Volantis or somewhere, or Essos, whatever the fuck. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Go get the fiery hand and come back so we can have a real battle. What are y'all talking about? Number 8, the Night King and Viserion should have never caught Jon Snow by surprise like this. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, because you already know that if the battle is starting and the Night King ain't here, that means he's planning to attack someplace, okay? If the Night King ain't come out with his dragon yet, that means he coming. That means something happening. So what you need to do is take Rhaegar and hide out somewhere until, even if that means you got to let the Night King attack the castle first, let that happen. But if he catching you by surprise like this, all he had to say was Dracarys and you would have been over, girl. Like, what do you mean? You had a certain kind of advantage because you knew the Night King was coming on Viserion. So why you should have been waiting for him to appear and then you attack. Why the fuck he pulling up on you when you know he coming? This didn't make no sense, y'all. This didn't make no sense. You should have waited for the Night King to come. Oh God, wait for the Night King to attack. Okay, then surprise him, because he got your attention and then immediately was like, oh, never mind. I'm going straight up to where the fuck Dany at, right? Or right? He was trying to get you away from the castle so that he could attack it. And it's just like, if he gonna attack that shit either way, let him come out of the blue, come out of nowhere, you know, use Viserion. By the time he finishes attacking it, because it's either he try to look for where y'all at, and if he can't find y'all, he just gonna go straight to where the goddamn battle is. And if he couldn't find where you was hiding, he would have just had to attack. And you would have caught him out in the open, but instead you sat there like a dumbass, obvious as fuck, in front of Winterfell with Rhaegar. It would have been over just then and there. What are you talking about? Now, real quick, I will say that this Arya moment right here was so much fun. Oh my goodness, it was. Little Bear killing this giant was fun. I was like, yes, that's my girl, that's my girl. The shots of Jon and Daenerys on the dragons in the sky at night were so beautiful. But yeah, this is when the Night King raced after Dany and went straight back down for Winterfell, like I said he was going to. Now, number 9, this Arya moment in the library was fun. It was great, right? But I think it could have been we could have chopped this whole entire segment to just see what else is going on in the battle. I mean, and maybe Arya stands are going to be mad, but I really love Arya. Like, let's be clear about that. I really love Arya, but I think we could have definitely, like I said, taken this segment out and put in more footage about what was happening outside. Like, this is the Great War. Like, this is the battle. This is the second long night. Like, come on now. Okay, so remember when Dany was flying above Drogon, and like I said, I don't know why in the fuck you would be flying so goddamn close to the Night King when you know what he did to Viserion. I'm staying the fuck away from your ass, because if you lob another javelin at my ass, it's over with. It's over with, right? But remember when Dany was flying above him and she said Dracarys, and the Night King was just like, guess what? That didn't fucking do anything. I don't think that should have happened. Even if you didn't kill him right then and there, I think it should have affected him in some way. I don't care if y'all gonna bring up the fact that he was walking through fires, you know, in the previous seasons or in the previous episodes. I don't care. I think that if this is called the Song of Ice and Fire, and ice is literally opposite to fire, it should do something. It should affect you in some way. You know, like, I don't think he should have been completely impervious to this Dracarys. Like, I'm sorry. And also, he tossed the javelin. He ended up tossing the javelin at, and I'm just calling it a javelin, but you know what I mean, ice spear, whatever. He tossed the javelin at Drogon, and you mean to tell me he missed from that close? Like, okay. And Drogon took so long to move the fuck out the way when Daenerys started seeing that the Night King was about to throw that shit. So it's just like, it's just the plot armor, and it just whatever. Now, number 11 is very important, because why in the entire fuck were y'all in the crypts when y'all know the Night King raises the goddamn dead? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Which smart Alec thought it was gonna be a good idea to put the women and children and the rest of these people in the goddamn crypts of Winterfell, where y'all know the Night King raises the fucking dead? Y'all cannot be serious right now. Number 12, you remember when Dany came out of nowhere with Drogon, right, to save Jon Snow yet again when he was up against the Night King. You already know the only thing that Jon Snow does is what? Get saved, okay? So Dany came out of nowhere and you know, did a cute little Dracarys for him, because the Night King was raising up all these people from the dead. It was really bad. Like, it was bad. So she saved his ass, but then she lands Drogon, and I'm just like, when I tell you I would be doing all type of cardio exercises with Drogon and Rhaegar before this fucking battle even started, because I'm like, yo, let me tell you something, Drogon. There's gonna be no period in time where you're gonna be landing during this fucking during this battle, during this war. You're not gonna be landing for a whole entire, I don't care how long it takes, a day. So you need to be, just know from now that I'm gonna keep saying Sylvatis, bitch. You're gonna have to keep raising that altitude. There is just no way in hell, unless I could see clearly that the battle's almost over for real, there is just no way I'm landing Drogon. There's just no way his fucking claws gonna touch the ground throughout this whole time, through the whole fucking night. Drogon might be pissed at me, but he's gonna take his ass in the air. I'm sorry, like, ain't no way that you're gonna be landing. Then number 13, the White Walkers crawling all up on Drogon ass, and somehow they all ignore Dany and she falls off. Like, okay, so they stabbing the shit out of fucking even though I don't think that they should have even been able to get onto Drogon's strong ass. Like, he should have been, as soon as he felt one of them hoes on his tail, he should have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he should have, even if he turned around and started breathing fire on them bitches or on himself, or, you know what I mean? I just don't think that this, like, you would really I think the only way that this could have worked is if, like, maybe he got injured, his wing was fucked up or something, and he couldn't really get away, or he couldn't really move, or something happened. So he was injured, and maybe that could really explain why the whites were able to just crawl on over his ass. Like, I was just like, girl, whatever. And then number 14, Ser Jorah coming out of fucking nowhere and dies protecting Dany. Yeah, it's just like, the writing sucked, because if you wanted Dany alone or unprotected, like, having White Walkers crawl up Drogon, and somehow Dany ends up falling off of Drogon and being completely okay and uninjured, and the White Walkers didn't even try to stab her ass, and all of a sudden Jorah come out. It's just like, girl, this writing sucks. There were better ways to have Jorah die, or, you know, of course we wanted Jorah to die, protected Dany or whatever, but this was such a corny way for it to happen, in my opinion. And like I said before, I want to reiterate, especially because, like, if you're somebody like Dany who does not have, like, battle experience, well, she obviously has battle experience, but I'm saying, like, hand to hand, like, sword to sword experience, you're going to really feel like you cannot get off this dragon. You're gonna really feel like Drogon cannot land. You're gonna really feel like, okay, the Night King just sniped Viserion out the sky. I know what's gonna happen, and Drogon is really my only reason to be in this to be protected in this battle. Like, I'm gonna make sure Drogon's always in the air. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have my eyes on these White Walkers and the Night King, and seeing where these javelins are. Like, they weren't fighting like the dragons were vulnerable. I'm so sorry. I gotta reiterate that. And the last one, 15, Arya killing the Night King was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I say this as someone who likes the Arya character, and I think that scene would have been cool in a different context, maybe if it wasn't the Night King or something. Like, it's really cool to see Arya do what she do, but y'all didn't even capitalize off of her face changing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Shape shifting, all the shit that could have happened with Cersei and Jaime if she was wearing Jaime's face. All kinds of shit could have been happening, but y'all want her to kill the fucking Night King. Y'all have been building up this battle between Jon Snow and the Night King for how long, and Arya come out of nowhere and kill his ass. Like, I mean, Jon couldn't even when Daenerys came out of nowhere, like I said, and saved him when the Night King was raising people up and trying to go for Jon. It's like you wouldn't even give us a cool battle then, right? Just him being saved, him being ushered through the battlefield. It was just terrible. It was terrible. And Arya coming out and killing Night King was just was the icing on the shit cake. That's what it was. The cherry on the turd on the turd Sunday. Like, that's what it was. Especially when you consider like the Night King's motivations for killing Bran. Oh, I'm the world's Wikipedia, so he wants to kill me. It's just like, girl, we could have had a much more moving motivation for the Night King. Even if the Night King ended up kidnapping Bran for some reason, using the, you know what I mean? His plans to use the fucking power of the third eye raven, like three eye raven, like whatever. We could have came up with something that was much more convincing when it came to because it was hard to even understand his motivations, the Night King motivation, until they had to say that shit verbatim. And it's just like, even when y'all said it verbatim, it didn't make no goddamn sense. So I'm just like, all of that coupled with Arya just killing him, it just, wow, y'all didn't care about the magic, the lore, the D&D didn't care about shit. They didn't care about shit. And that writing sucked so much that I felt so bad for like I said, the actors, the people who doing the fucking VFX, the cinematographers, whatever. Like, y'all didn't deserve that writing, because if it was written better, that battle could have been amazing. And honestly, I don't even know if this battle should have happened at this point in time during the season anyway, you know? And like, well, I mean, it should have been the end to season 8, and then the Cersei shit should have been in season 9. You know, going for King's Landing should have been the next season, especially if y'all wanted Daenerys to do what Daenerys did at the end, you know, burning up all of King's Landing so we could see her descent. But no, we want to do shitty writing, and we want to go to Star Wars, even though we got fired from it. It's like, get out of my face. Get out of my face. So yeah, y'all, that's it. Tell me what you thought about this last final battle at Winterfell. Tell me what you agreed with. Tell me what you didn't agree with. Look forward to seeing your comments, and I will check y'all out later.